How to never plateau as a software engineer. My name is Isaac, previous CTO for Funded Startup, and I ran the checkout team at Pretty Little Thing. It is very easy and actually surprisingly common to plateau or get stuck as a software engineer. I fundamentally believe there's only two reasons why you would. You're tired and you need a rest, or you're not challenged enough. The way to know if you're tired and need a rest: take a week off. Seriously, actually take a full week off. Don't do little bits of work here and there. If by the end of the week you feel energized and you actually want to work, it's not, oh, I'm going back to it. You're like, right, I'm ready, then you were tired. If after that you don't feel ready to go with your work, it means you're not being challenged to the appropriate level. Obviously, this is for people that want to be more challenged or want to do something else with their career. If you're happy with where you're at, that's perfectly fine. This video is more for people that are struggling to get to the next level. So, not being challenged the appropriate amount, what does that mean? You can either be challenged too much, where you end up procrastinating and the task is too daunting, you end up not doing it, or you're challenged too little and you lack motivation. I'm not going to be really touching that. For this video, I'm focusing on the former point. This isn't really about how big the task is relative to your skill set, it's how you feel about the delta between the two. Sometimes you may not understand what you don't have, and the lack of understanding may actually lead to apathy because you're like, I don't know how to get the results that I think I should be getting, and I'm not really sure what to work on. And because of that, you don't know how to break it into smaller chunks and make manageable segments of it, and that's a big problem for a lot of people. Even now, sometimes in recent years when I try to start new projects, I actually get derailed because I don't have a healthy understanding of how long something's going to take, and it discourages me, to be honest. I feel like what I'm doing is inefficient, I'm not really getting anywhere, and it makes me feel like I'm wasting my efforts and I could be doing something else. So what I'm learning, which does feel like it's coming late, but it's that you don't have to dive in the deep end when you do a new project. Some people thrive on doing that, they like putting themselves in risky situations and seeing what happens, but it's not for everyone. Areas you feel more comfortable in, you're more likely to accept big challenges. So for example, I am far more likely to take on a challenging technical project than I am something even less challenging, but it's in an area I'm not familiar with, like sales or marketing. Like I said, some people jump in the deep end, that's what they want to do, but you know what? That's not me. I don't like being in a tricky situation and seeing if I can make it work. Because fundamentally, I don't like having done something. I like knowing I can do something. Being able to see progress, the security that I have done this bit by bit, I've put it together, and now knowing I can do it, that is what makes all the difference to me. I don't really get confident having done something once. If I feel like I fluked it or it just happened to work because it worked that time, I don't actually like it, because then I feel like I can't do it again. For everything that you want to learn, there is probably an adjacent skill set you already have which you could leverage to get into it. One thing that really spoke this train of thought for me is a book, So Good They Can't Ignore You by Carl Newport, where he basically talks about satisfaction from jobs does not actually come from following your passions, it comes from having such strong skills in an area that you get access to better opportunity and therefore more fulfilling work. One of the things he talks about that is every time someone thinks, oh, you know, I want to do or learn something different, if you're not using the skill set that you already come from, it will be miserable again because you're starting from the bottom. But every time you switch skills and you do it in a way where you can leverage what you currently already have, you get to specialize more, and the learning process is cut in half, and it's a lot more rewarding to do the work because you start from a higher place and you can grow faster. Me even making content is kind of an example of this. Realistically, you know, what do I have? I'm fortunate I've done well career-wise, and fortunately tech is just an area people are very interested in at the moment. Okay, well, I've got 5+ years in the industry. What can I do? I can talk about it. And I kind of put this off for ages. I saw a lot of people doing it and I thought, I don't really want to do it. But recently I've kind of realized like this is a sick way for me to learn skills that I kind of want to get anyway. So I recently toyed around with some business concepts, and even just doing the mock process of like going to certain people, the laborious outreach and actually trying to like generate interest and sales, and even just like trying to offer people free work, which I know sounds ridiculous, but just to validate the idea. It's such a ball ache. The more I see people with audiences, the more I realize, like, you know what? If you had an audience, you know how much easier it would be to actually sell this service or get the attention that you need. Now, I actually have no intention of selling this content or making money off it, because I'm not really interested in a consumer business at the moment. But the point is, it's like, if I can help people and I can build a brand, realistically, I know how to do content marketing, right? So when I do have an idea for a business I actually do want to start, it's like, right, I actually understand an avenue. I can do content marketing. Now, maybe on top of that, I need to learn how to like paid ads and promote and maybe like outreach or something. But let's say I get to the next stage, and instead of having to learn 2 skills to actually generate the sales that I need, I only need to learn 1. Way less daunting and something I can focus on. I think about this like I'm running on a treadmill. Like if I want to do 20 minutes before I start, great. You know, if I'm running and I get to 10 minutes, I think, oh, there's another 10 minutes left, I'm probably not going to finish. Let's be real. However, if at 10 minutes, I'm like, right, just get to 12. That's it. Just do another 2 minutes. By the time I get to 12, it's probably not going to be that bad. And I'll think, all right, well, shit, let me get to 15. I know when I get to 15, it keeps going. And you know what? By the time I get to 20, I might even think to myself, hey, let me see if I can push 23. And I say that to say this, I think it's so easy to psych yourself out by trying to think about going the whole 9 yards instead of just using what you already have and incrementally building on top of it. There's so many projects or skills I've actually not picked up or learned because I have to think to myself, oh, this is where I want to be. And looking at the whole task as a whole, I'm not going to commit to that. It's a massive like year-long project. But if you just think every day, right, I'm going to sink today into learning this, that's it. If you don't want to do it afterwards, you don't have to. But you know what? After you sink a day into it, it will actually be easier to sink another day into it later. You'll think, oh, that wasn't too bad, and just do a day. We're in this for the long haul, right? Like, we're not athletes. Our body's not going to kick out on us by 35 and we got to retire and figure something else out. We can keep doing this stuff and we can keep leveling up and getting better. So you don't have to focus on all the negative shit. As long as you're using your time appropriately, it will compound as you age. There's a lot of pretty words I can say about, oh, you know, you just got to be motivated, get stuff done. But at the end of the day, it's not really like what I say, it's how you feel. And you have to figure out what works for you. I know for me, if I look at a big task, I'm less likely to do it because it just feels like such an investment and I really don't have the time or the effort. Being productive is way better than being motivated. So instead of being motivated and thinking, oh, I want to get it done, all you have to do is productively just use a day at a time. Just every day, just use it properly and it will pay off. So this is just my experience, but I do hope it is useful for someone out there. If you know someone who's having problems being stuck in their career, they feel like they're plateauing, please send them this video so they can make a more informed decision. Thanks, guys.